By the end of this video, you're going to see if I can use Replit's AI agent to build a full working SaaS app. The project we're going to build is an AI logo generator. So I've written my prompt, which is a web app SaaS that uses AI to generate logos for users based on the description of their business. I want to use OpenAI for generations and Stripe for payments. I want to be able to generate logos for free. Users to be able to generate for free, but pay to download high quality versions of the logos. So let's go ahead and click Start Building. And it's just letting us know that we're in early access. So I'm going to go ahead and click Continue, early access to Replit Agent. And the way that Replit's agent works is it starts in a chat interface, and it's going to think about what we've asked it to create. And what it's going to do is basically tell us its project plan, and then we can edit that project plan or suggest any changes. So let's read what it has here for us. So it's basically just restating the project, and we definitely wanted to build the initial prototype. And then here's additional features it's suggesting. Implement more customization options for logo generation, add a gallery of previous generated logos for inspiration, integrate social media sharing, and develop an admin dashboard. So I'm going to say I want to do 1, 2, and 4. I'm not going to do integrate social media for now. So let's approve plan and start. And right off the bat, Replit is going to start generating the code and backend for our app. So it's generating the database, configuring everything. And I'm just going to go ahead and pause the video and let it configure because it takes a couple minutes for this initial setup. So just a quick check-in, wanted to show you some of the things that the agent has been building. So on the right side here, we can see everything that it's been installing and setting up. We can also see it installed OpenAI, which is, I assume, basically connecting our app to OpenAI, giving us the ability to add our OpenAI API keys to connect Stripe as well. And it's still going. So I'm going to pause again and let it finish up. Okay, so Replit agent is now asking me for my OpenAI API key. So I'm going to go ahead and go into OpenAI and grab my API key and put it here in this value. So I just went ahead and pasted in my API key. I'm going to click Add Secret, and it's going to go ahead and continue. So I'm going to pause the video again and let it continue building, and I'll let you know when it's asking me for more information. So we finally got into a web page that the AI has developed for us. So it's basically reached a checkpoint. So it's asking me, is it running and accessible? Can I see the homepage with the Welcome to AI logo generator message? So I'm going to say, yes, I see all of that. And then let's see what happens next. And what's cool about working with Replit Agent is they kind of make it feel like you're working with a real developer. So there's like read receipts here. So it says, great, now that we've confirmed the homepage, let's test the user generation. Can you navigate to the registration page and try to create a new account with a test email and password? So let's try that. I'm going to go to register. So it's created this. So let me go through and see if this works. So I've entered a username, email, and password. I'm going to click register. And now let's see if I can actually log in here. So let's click sign in. And awesome. So it looks like that worked. It's not exactly the flow I would like. I would have preferred when you kind of create your account to just put you right into the dashboard without having to log in. But that's all things we can work out later. So I'm going to say, yes, that did all work successfully. And let's just stop there. We can always edit kind of the flow later on. So now it says, now that I've registered and logged in, let's test the logo generation feature. Can you navigate to generate new logo and try to create a logo? Please provide a brief description of a business. Then click the generate logo. Once you've done that, you should see a generated logo and if there are any options to purchase a high resolution version. So let's click generate a new logo. Describe your business. Let's say We are an e-commerce store that sells mattresses. And let's click generate logo and see if anything actually happens here. So I'm clicking generate logo, but I'm going to say nothing seems to be happening here. So let's, okay. So I got an error. An error occurred while trying to generate the logo. Please try again. So I'm going to say I got to the generate new logo page, but there was an error. And let's see what it does to debug this. So this is a lot of what it's like building with Replit's AI agent. Is it's going to build something, you're going to test it, and then if it doesn't work, you just want to describe what issue that you had so that it can solve it. So I'm going to go ahead and let it work on this issue. Okay, so it says it fixed it, so I'm going to try and log in again and see if it works now. And I'm assuming that I can sign in with the same username and password that I created before, which is correct. So let's go ahead and click Generate New Logo. And we'll go ahead and type in the same business we had before, an e-commerce business that sells mattresses. Generate logo. And there's no like indicator of like a loading indicator or something like that, but this is just the initial version, so it's always things that we can add later. And let's see if it actually works here. All right, cool. So we did get a logo. Obviously, we can work on the prompt to actually make this work, but it did generate us a logo, and then below there's purchase high-res version. So if I click that, I don't think they've built in any functionality for that. So let's go ahead and say, I did get a generated logo. Can you add a loading indicator so the user knows the logo is being generated? And then also the purchase high res version. Oops, having trouble here. Button is not working. So it says it's going to add the loading indicator, and then it's going to work on fixing the purchase high-res version button. All right, cool. So now we need to try this again, and it wants us to see if we have a loading indicator and if it's going to a Stripe checkout page when we click purchase. So let's describe the business. Let's do an e-commerce store that sells mugs. And let's click generate logo. And there is no loading indicator again. So let's see what it generates. I'm assuming the same thing is going to happen, and then we'll see if the purchase button works. Okay, so it generated an image. It's not a great logo, but let's click purchase high-res version. And again, nothing is happening. So I'm going to say I tried again. Again, there was no loading indicator on the screen. And the purchase button, again, didn't work. All right, so it restarted the app. I'm going to sign in. We're going to try this one more time. And also what's cool is in the dashboard, it's showing me my previous logos that were generated. So that's pretty cool. So let's generate a new one. Let's say the business is an e-commerce business that sells mugs. Let's do the same one. Okay, now we do have a generating logo indicator, which is awesome, because otherwise you just press the button and you don't know what's happening. And here we got a logo. And now let's see if I click purchase high-res version, what happens. It says an error occurred while processing your purchase. Please try again. So it's cool that error handling was actually built into the app as well. So I'm going to say now the loading indicator is working, but I got this error message below when I clicked purchase. And let's see what happens here. So now it's saying that it's going to work for a few minutes to make the update. So I'm going to pause again and let it work and regenerate the code. Okay, cool. And this is what I thought it needed to do, and I'm impressed that it was able to come to this conclusion, was that it needed my Stripe API keys. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my Stripe account and get some API keys. Okay, so I have now generated a public and secret key using the Stripe API documentation. I'm going to click Add these secret keys, and let's see what happens next. So it looks like it's restarting the app. Let me log in and test this out again. Here I am. Let's click into, let's go to the dashboard, and it's asking me to generate a logo, check if the loading indicator appears, and then check the purchase button again. So let's go ahead, generate a new logo. I'm going to say we are a grocery store, and let's generate the logo. So let's see what happens now. All right, so we've generated the logo. Let's click Purchase High-Res Version. And we are getting an error message. So let's go ahead and copy the entire error message. And let's see what it says. Okay. Get it. Everything worked except for the purchase button. Got this error message. And let's see what it says here. All right, so it seems to have identified the problem, and it's going to work for a few minutes again to implement the changes. So I'm going to pause the video and let it regenerate the code. All right, so I was trying to test it again, but when I got to the dashboard page, it looks like this. So I'm going to ask it to fix that first. And as you can see, there's a lot of going back and forth, especially when you're building an app that's a little bit more complex like this with multiple integrations. So it still didn't fix it. I'm going to give it a screenshot of the dashboard and see if that helps. All right, so I've been going back and forth for about 10 minutes now because on the dashboard, after I log in, the CSS is not rendering. So the style is just not rendering. And I keep trying to ask it to fix it and try and figure out what's going on. But so far, no luck. I'm going to pause the video and keep debugging here with the AI agent. Okay, so the same thing keeps happening. I'm going to try a different method. So why don't I go back, and I'm going to roll back to a previous checkpoint where this was working. So I'm going to roll back to this checkpoint. So I'm rolling back there, and then I'll try and keep developing, and hopefully I won't run into the same error. Okay, so I've rolled back, and let's log in, and let's go ahead and log in here. So now the dashboard is working again, and I can close out the dev tools. So let's generate a new logo. Let's so describe the business. We'll do one more, a mattress store, generate it. We'll just make sure everything is still working the way that we want it to. And then I think the error we're going to get is when we click purchase, we got an error. So let's generate the logo. Let's see what happens. All right. And then if I click purchase high-res version, we're going to get that same error. So let's try again. So I'm going to say thanks. Now the dashboard is working again. I'm getting an error when purchasing. Here, long URL. Then what I'm going to say is, please update this, but also make sure that the dashboard continues to work as well. So I'm going to let this run, and let's see what happens. All right, so it says that it solved it, so let's log in and see. All right, well, I can confirm that at least the dashboard is still working. So hopefully that whole debugging issue that I had previously will be solved. So let's say we are a lawyer firm, and let's generate the logo here. So we have a logo, and let's click purchase high-res version and see what happens. So it does not seem to be working. Let's see if we get any error message. I'm going to say, now I'm not getting an error message, but the purchase button doesn't seem to do anything. All right, so what I did was click this Dev Tools button, which is really helpful. And I can go and we can see that we're getting an error. So I'm going to copy this and let's make sure I get the whole thing. I'm just going to copy the beginning of the error and say I'm getting an error message in DevTools. And I'm just going to delete. I just want to make sure that I only get the error here. Okay. And let's see what it does with this. Okay, so I actually was able to figure out the issue. The error, I think, was we were not able to go to the Stripe checkout page when we were in the Replit editor. So I'm going to show you in a second when I actually go to a new tab and use this in its kind of own tab here, it did work. So let me log in real quick. And okay, if I click purchase high res, now it is working. It is going to a Stripe checkout page. So it did work, but that's an area where it would be nice for Replit to say, hey, try this in a new tab because the issue may be that you're building it in Replit. So kind of understanding that could be really helpful. And there really was no indication to try it in a new tab here. So this is in the, I'm assuming in the dev. I'm going to try to fill out the information with the Stripe test card here. So if you're in the Stripe test mode, and this might actually not be set up in test mode, so we'll see. But it's just 424242 all the way across with any date in the future. And if I click pay, I'm not going to save my information. If I click pay, okay, so the request was in live mode, but I used a test card. So I could enter my real information, but I think I want it to be in test mode for now. So let me ask it to do that. So I'm going to say it works, but can you make the Stripe payment link in test mode so I can test it without paying real money? All right, so now it should be on the test card. So let's click purchase high res. And okay, great. So now this is not working again. So let me debug one more time. Okay, so now it says to generate a new logo using customization options. It's added. So I guess it added some of those customization options we asked for in the beginning. And then use the test credit card to see if it works from Stripe. So let's try this in a new tab. I've logged in, so let's generate a new logo. Okay, cool. So this is actually pretty cool that it's giving us more information. So let's say we sell mugs. We want it to be pastel, hand-drawn, elegant, circle. Let's do geometric, and then let's see what it does with text. I'm a little skeptical, and actually we don't really even want text, but that's also something we can edit later on. So here we go. We have all of these customizations, and it's generating the logo now. Okay, so it generated the logo, and again, I'm not too concerned right now about the logo. We can always tweak the AI prompt later on. I'm really more concerned about all the other functionality. So let's say if I click purchase high res, okay, I'm getting the exact same error here. I'm going to stop debugging there and give you my opinion on Replit's AI agent and where things are. So first of all, we made a video last week where we built a basic website using the AI agent, and it did a really great job. And in this app, it also did a really great job of very quickly prototyping out the functionality where you can generate a logo using AI. It had the login, it had a dashboard, it had all of these things, and it did it really quickly. And it actually did it a lot more quickly than I would be able to build with something like Bubble or Glide or any no-code tool. Now, where it seems to fall short right now is if you don't know how to code, sometimes it can get stuck debugging an issue. And because I don't know how to code, I can't go in and specifically fix it. Whereas in Bubble, I wouldn't get stuck building a Stripe integration or something like that, or some issue where the app isn't loading or the styling isn't loading into it. So there's a lot of things that Bubble takes care of behind the scenes, and no-code tools in general take care of behind the scenes to not run into issues like that. So there's certain things that I'm seeing now that these AI tools are really great at, and certain things where it starts to get a little bit trickier. So hopefully this video gave you a good idea of what Replit's AI agent can do. If you want to learn more about coding with AI without writing any code yourself, check the link in the description. We have a full course that covers how to build a website, how to build a Slack bot, and how to build a Chrome extension using ChatGPT and Replit. Not using Replit's AI agent, but using Replit itself and writing the code in ChatGPT. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more content like this for free, and I'll see you in the next video.